We're ready.
Or if you want to print, then you do print.
Okay, you're live.
Hey, Luis, mute yourself, friend.
Luis is here.
Hi. Hey guys, mute yourself for right now. We're live on Facebook. Thank you for joining us. We'll get started in a couple minutes here with our contracts class, and we're going to do some live practice and contract writing. So everyone get ready, and thanks for joining us, and we'll start in just a couple minutes. Oh, perfect. Do you guys, Luis and Dylan, you guys have your RPAs ready and your zip forms and everything? Because so far, you're going to be the ones put on the hot seat today. Perfect. I feel like we need some music, Deborah. It's like.
Oh, I should close my window because the music is not appealing from there. It is when leaf blowers.
Okay. See if the online's working. That's good. Hey, Tina Leonard, I see you on Facebook. Okay, we'll give this another second here. I'm going to pull up some stuff. Deborah, can you just have your listing ready and share your screen with that information?
It is all ready to go.
Awesome. Okay, and Patricia, can you drop there in that box, drop there the Zoom link? I want to get a couple more people on the Zoom here since this is going to be more of an interactive course. So can you drop the Zoom link down there at the bottom? That way if people want to hop on and participate live, they can.
You got it.
Thank you. Cool. Maybe we'll get a few more people on the hot seat here.
Can you see my listing?
I can.
There
Looks
you go.
beautiful.
It's working.
Okay, guys, well, let's get started. So thank you for joining us. It is a wonderful Monday here in Long Beach. Oh, that's okay, Dylan. It is a beautiful Monday here in Long Beach. I hope it's beautiful where you are. I know we're excited for fall here. Yeah. Hey, Tina, we see you. But yeah, I'm Halley Wright. I'm the team leader for Keller Williams Coastal Properties. Here with me today is the fantastic, lovely, beautiful Deborah Bell. She's my assistant team leader here at Coastal Properties. She's also a fantastic coach, mentor, and listing agent. So yes, so Deborah has joined me today. We're going to start following more of the, I'm going to call it Stephanie Alatorre model with our Monday classes, where essentially what we're going to do is we're going to have one of our listing agents basically pitch their listing to us. So Deborah's going to be pitching one of her listings today. We're going to pretend that it's active at the moment. We're using a past one, but in the future we'll use active. And I'm going to give you guys 8 minutes to write up an offer for this seller and for the listing agent. Then a couple of you on Zoom are going to basically pitch your offer to the listing agent, so to Deborah. And then we're going to discuss techniques and strategies. This is going to be able to help us know, what does it take to get offers accepted right now? What kind of terms do we need to come in with? You know, how do we manage that with our relationship with the listing agent and build that rapport with them? So Deborah, do you have any more to share?
No, I'm ready to roll when you are and tell you a little bit about the property and disregard what you see over there on that number. But in fact, let me put pictures up so you can't see it.
That would be great. So if any of you, that's okay. So again, if any of you guys want to challenge yourself, hop on the Zoom right now. So that way I can ask you to participate. Nothing is going to teach you better than actual practice. So thank you guys for sharing. I'm going to go ahead and let Deborah take it away. So Deborah, talk to us and basically pitch your listing to us. Pitch your listing to our buyer clients.
Sure. Happy to do so. So this is down in Laguna Beach, and it is probably about no more than 3 blocks from the beach, which is pretty nice to be that close to the water. As you can see by this first picture, it is a 2-story. This has 2 separate living areas pretty much. You can see the garage there on the first level, but there is also a 1-bedroom and a 3/4 bath on the first level, as well as a sitting area. And that sitting area family room has a fireplace. It does open out onto the back patio. And then we go upstairs to the 2nd story, and there is another bedroom and bath on the 2nd level, along with the kitchen and another family room with a fireplace. There's an outside patio, a deck rather, that is where they have their dining table. And there's also another large deck for sitting area as well. So this seller lives out of state. They decided after 20 years of having family fun here that they were going to put the house on the market as they're making some changes to their portfolios. So we listed this home and are excited to hear what you all have to say about it. It is, per the tax records, it's a little over 1,100, I think it was 1,128 square feet, and the lot is about 21. You have ocean views, believe it or not, and coastline views, which is really nice. So that is always very appealing, especially for these homes down in the Laguna area. There is off-street parking, and shops and so forth are very close, walkable for those that like to get out and stretch your legs a bit. The thing that you will find with this property, that if you want to live in Laguna and in this area called Laguna Woods, you're going to find that your homes are going to be very close in proximity. And will you be looking into each other's backyards? That's going to happen. However, the people in this community, they realize that, they love the neighborhood. So this is one that will get a good bit of attention.
That's great. Deborah, can you scroll through some of the pictures in there?
Absolutely. So
kind of tell us about some of the property while you guys, I'll give you a
Sure.
little head start to writing your RPAs here. You can start writing as she's showing
Yeah.
us some of the details.
And our listing price is 1,299. And this is the, as you come down this walkway around the house, that's where you're going to see this main entrance. This is the actual door that goes into the first level. And then this gate will take you around to the lower patio, which also has a slider that you'll see. Laundry room is in here. This will lead into the garage, and then your first floor bedroom is that direction with the bath in that bedroom. And then the slider over here. Great sunlight. You can see here, that's the patio that I showed you from the other view, and then your fireplace. Now, there is no furnace, no HVAC here. Your heating system will be your 2 fireplaces, and it is served quite sufficiently for them. And of course, you get a fabulous breeze in this area, so the AC is not necessarily something of need. The washer dryers are included in this sale. That's still the first level. This is all your first floor bedroom with a bath in the corner. It is a 3/4. I love the old windows, how they open in. And this is a view, of course, from the staircase. Now we're on the 2nd level. Again, your fireplace in the family room. You have views out the windows. This goes out to your side porch. The kitchen with a little bit of a bar there, countertop. And the floors are a luxury laminate that were recently installed on both, all throughout the upper level there. And again, you can see the beautiful windows. Here's the patio here on the upper level, which is where their dining was. And your living room. This is the upstairs bedroom. The windows all opened out, which was really nice as well. Had pitched ceilings, closets, lots of closet here. Good bit of closet space actually for an older home. And then you have a full bath in here. This little bench was adorable. This is storage underneath here. I love those benches. Window benches are just so fun. Oh, there was another heater there, believe it or not, but main heating is going to be your fireplaces. The appliances are included in this sale. This does look out onto the next, the walkway out there. There's also a door here that opens out onto that side porch that I showed just a moment ago. And this is a view from the upstairs deck. As you can see, there's the water here. And then I don't know if our pictures are going to show, but there is coastline view that runs all up there. That's the side porch. There's your kitchen, your upstairs family room, living room. This is the composite deck with all the composite railing as well. And another view.
That's great. So I'm going to cut you off here because we could sit here and look at these gorgeous pictures all day.
I'll keep rolling as you start talking.
Right. So what I'm going to do as I'm going to help you guys out here a little bit, and I'm going to ask some questions of Deborah that you should always call and ask the listing agent before writing your offer. Okay. So I'm calling Deborah. Hey, Deborah. Can you tell me a little bit more about your sellers? Where are they going? Where do they live? Tell me more about their situation.
Sure. These sellers are out-of-state owners, and this has been a second home for them. They have utilized this home quite joyfully in the last 20 years with their family. They've decided that they wanted to liquidate some things and downsize. So they finally have come to this decision after about a year of discussing this to put the home on the market.
That's great. Are they looking for any particular timelines right now? Fast, longer? What's their time?
They really do not have a specific timeline. They would like to find a buyer that will enjoy the home as they did, or even live in it full time. They would love for that to happen with a young family. And their time could be fast, or they would extend it as well. They are not pressuring to get it sold quickly.
Okay, great. That's kind of about it. The other ones we're not going to really get into today. So that'll help you guys get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a timer on the clock, and I'm going to give you 8 minutes. Okay. So everyone pull out your zip forms, pull out your RPAs, and you have 8 minutes. Write Deborah an offer and get ready to pitch it to Deborah that you think will be good for her listing. It's 430 Radcliffe Court. You can see right there. And her list price is 1.299. Got it? Okay. Deborah, if you could stop sharing, and then I'm going to share my screen and put this up for you, and we're going to set it for 8 minutes. Okay. So 8 minutes. You can, if you need to ask any questions, you can. Everyone on the Zoom, be ready. I'm going to call on one of you to kind of pitch your offer to Deborah, to Miss Deborah, for this gorgeous place in Laguna. I feel like we need some music.
I was just Jack Johnson.
Oh, this is great. How long does it go? Oh, 2 minutes. Here we go. Do you hear it?
Yes.
Oh, here we go. I keep thinking the song's going to be over, and then it just keeps playing.
There you go. That last part out reminds me of, I was singing I'm a Little Teapot with my granddaughter yesterday. Me over and pour me out.
Right?
Ah, how many offers on the table? Lewis, thank you. Good question. At this time, I do have 2 other offers.
Good job, Luis. We're going to call on you. Be ready. Oh, he's asking another question, Deborah.
Yeah, I see that. How many offers on the table? Could you tell me where the offer is? What I'm willing to share at this time is that the offer is strong.
Good answer. Good answer. That's a different game, but Family Feud? No, that was a Family Feud joke. That's okay.
Great question.
Oh, Luis is so on it today. Gold star,
I
Luis.
want to be as clean as possible. Who do you want its title and escrow? I love it. I love it. Awesome. I would like to have Coastal Properties as my escrow. And for title, let's go with
Clearmark title. Clearmark title.
Clearmark. We'll go with Clearmark title. There you go.
Luis gets a gold star today.
Wow, he's going to get about,
questions.
he keeps this going, he'll have about 3 gold stars. He might even get the offer accepted.
I don't know. I have a sense that there's other people on here that are getting into it too. They're just being quieter. Check back in with
you to kind
Facebook
of
here.
pitch your offer.
What was that?
Oh no, sorry. I was pulling up the Facebook on my phone and I.
Oh,
Okay, we have just under 2 minutes left. You guys start wrapping it up. Remember, hit those key points, those key metrics that you would see on your cover sheet. So a good way to pitch this when you're talking to the listing agent is go into that summary of offer sheet, add that into your transaction that you're creating, because that's truly going to give you the highlights that agent and that client are really going to be concerned about. It's going to tell you about purchase price, financing, down payment, contingencies, if there are any other special terms, all that's going to show up on there. So just make sure you've got those done at least. We have almost a minute. Now, a minute. You got a minute left.
Mhm.
I'll spare you the Jeopardy music.
I could sing I'm a Little Teapot.
Yeah, do it.
I won't embarrass myself.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, right. I will share while they're doing that. Of course, the heads are down and they're thinking, but I recently wrote on a property in a very competitive community right now, Northeast LA area. And I really like what this particular agent had done. And Luis's question, let me just say, sorry, got on late. Where do you find that checklist for offers? The checklist.
So it's not really a checklist for the offers that I was talking about. It's a page, it's a document in your car forms called, oh, there we go, alarm off. It is what is
Summary.
this?
It is called summary.
Yes, it's called
of
summary.
RPA.
Thank you. Summary of the RPA. And you actually put it inside of your transaction folder that you have, and it will pull up down all of the information that you put into the RPA. So you don't have to fill it out separately. It just is a nice, clean version of whatever terms you've typed out in the RPA in one page. So sorry, Deborah, keep talking.
I use it all the time now. I really like it. I had been prepared my own summary with basically everything that's there, but this is awesome because, as Halley said, it will populate automatically once you add it to your folder. Just be careful because the first choice that comes up is the summary of RIPA, and you want the one that's right below that, summary of RPA.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So our time is up. We're ready to hear some pitches. I know Luis is over there working very hard, so I know he's going to participate. So did anyone else write an offer that they'd like to pitch to the listing agent? If so, chime in, type in the chat box. I'd love for you guys to participate. So Sergio or Dylan or Layla, any of you did it, please type in the chat box. So let's go ahead and get started with Luis, since I know he did it. He was asking great questions. You know, this guy's been paying attention. Yeah, so Luis, go ahead, unmute yourself, and I want you to kind of pitch your offer to Deborah. If you want to screen share and show us your DocuSign, you can do that as well, or you can just do it verbally, whatever works for you.
Okay, so I'll tell you right now, I haven't finished yet. I'm like trying to fill out as much as I can, but
that's okay. So Luis, how about you give us those key important things in that summary of offer, you know, kind of just pitch them to Deborah like you would when you call your listing agent when you submit an offer.
okay. It's all right. So first time, so sorry.
That's okay. You're doing a great job.
Hi Deborah. It's
Hi,
Liz.
how are you?
Good. How are you doing? How's the weather over there?
Doing good, thank you.
Good. I'm burning up over here in the valley.
I'm so sorry, and this week is going to be an even rougher week, so hang in there or come to the beach area.
Right. I'll take that into consideration.
There
So
you go.
I wanted to talk to you about your lovely property from your client at 430 Radcliffe Court in Long Beach, in Laguna Beach. Sorry.
That's okay.
You can tell the weather's getting to me over here.
Yeah, I can see. Get out of the heat.
I have my client and they're very interested. and they want to know what's going to put them ahead or be considered for the offer. We want to go to asking price, and we want to do 20% down, and we also want to put earnest money for $38,970, which is 3%. I should have just said that from the beginning.
That's okay. No, you're doing great.
We also want to do 10 days of inspection, contingency. And we're wondering if that can be enough to get us considered.
So I really appreciate your questions, and I like how you are coming to me with these questions. I love for agents to be able to be competitive with their clients. I want to say that what you have shared with me thus far will definitely, if not get you an acceptance, it will definitely get you a counter. So if that is helpful, for you and your buyers, I would suggest definitely be submitting. As I mentioned, I do have 2 offers on the table, and there are hints of another offer or 2 coming. So be sure to tighten up the areas that you feel your buyer would be most comfortable tightening to make you more appealing.
Oh, that's great. That's good to hear. I wanted to ask, dang, I've lost it.
That's okay. Take your time.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, so
You're doing great.
What would be a good position to get countered?
What we plan to do, and obviously things can change depending on what ends up coming to us. My advice to these sellers is that we are going to review all of the offers, and we will wait for all of them to come in for that review with our cutoff of noon tomorrow. But we'll wait until that time and then review all. And most likely, unless one is extremely one way or the other, up or down, most likely we're going to be countering everybody if we don't have one that is just so powerful to accept it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
Okay, good. Yeah, I hope that was helpful.
It was. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, I hope to hear from you soon, as long
Okay.
also my clients as well. They really love the property, and
Good.
they want to
It is
get
a
some
great
of that
place.
fresh air you got over there.
There you go. Yeah, we're willing to share it for the right price.
Right. Well, we would like to meet at the right price.
Good. Well, I appreciate it. I'll look forward to your offer. You have my email address for submitting it?
Yes, I do. I have all that contact information.
Excellent. And I appreciate the questions that you had asked previously to make certain that you are preparing the best offer. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. You have a lovely day.
All right, you too. Thank you. Take care.
Love this. Great job.
Yay!
Great job. That was awesome. Congratulations.
That was great.
And that was great. And I know you're a newer agent and you spoke with confidence and you were using great dialogue and lingo. And I think it was great. I was crying on the inside. Stop. No, you did awesome. You did awesome.
Did. Very good.
That's great. So we're going to talk about, I wrote a few notes for feedback, but I want to see if someone else is ready to pitch before we talk about some things that we can do.
They all have their faces turned off. What is
I
that?
know. Who else is ready? Come on. Dylan. Oh, who's
There
this?
we go. Rise and shine.
I'm not ready.
Yes.
I just joined
Yes.
in Facebook,
Oh. Were you
Thanks.
ready the offer?
so no, I was not.
You didn't get in time.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Was anyone else
Appreciate you
on
showing
here? Was anyone else participating and writing the offer? You guys that you want to pitch to the listing agent?
Going once? Twice?
No?
Anyone?
Okay. If not, then we'll just talk about what awesome Luis did. Okay. So so let's talk about that pitch. First of all, that was great. That was fantastic. Lots of questions you asked. They were really good, very specific questions, and I think that's really important, right? Now remember, and Deborah, I definitely want to get your feedback with this. remember that the word and the words and the tone that we use when we talk to the agent can really set us up to be considered, can really set our clients up to be considered, right? So before we pitched or before we talked, we knew via text, if you guys couldn't see it on Facebook, we knew via text that there were multiple offers on the property, right? That Deborah's already received 2 offers on the property. We also heard that she, again, typed in on Facebook and shared the information that her clients live out of state and don't necessarily have a fast motivation because they just want to find the right person. So right off the bat, we do know and can glean some information and use some language when speaking to those listing agents to kind of help set our offer up. So, Luis, you did a great job. One of the things that we forgot to touch on there was the actual length of escrow. Okay. So remember, our offer, particularly in a competitive standpoint, we need to find ways in our terms that can become competitive. So Luis did a great job by asking some of those questions. You know, do you have preferred services? And if you do, what are they? That way he can write those into the offer. It makes it cleaner and easier for that listing agent. Okay. Shorten contingencies. That's something else that you should always lead with. If you're going in with your offer and you're saying, look, Deborah, I have this great offer from you for my clients. They absolutely love your property. We're going in with a full price offer because they love it so much. We're going to have nice and short contingencies, 10-day, we're talking 30-day total escrow. It's going to set up that excitement because the agent's in thinking, wow, I'm getting a full price offer on my property, on my listing. That's fantastic. It's going to be shorter terms. That's even better for my clients. And it's going to put them in that positive attitude. So even if someone might have come in a little bit higher in the actual price point itself, it's going to make them psychologically build that connection with you because you're excited about the offer. They're going in full price. They're having shortened contingencies. So those are kind of wins for Deborah's client on her end. That's wins for her to go back and to say, I did XYZ, right? So Deborah, share some of those things, feedback of when people are pitching their deals to you, and share with me what you want to hear when someone calls you. Share with me what you want them to say.
Sure. So the escrow period, a good question to be asking, because as Halley had said earlier, we don't have strong motivation. So these guys they don't need to close and buy something else. It's not a 1031 exchange. So we don't have a time frame that we're focusing on. So you could come with a 30-day escrow and we may say, well, it's a little fast because we live in Utah. We have to drive down there and get all this stuff. How about if we do 45? So that's a great question to be asking so that you're giving at least as much as you think that seller is going to want to do. And then Luis did touch on the shortening of the contingency periods. I'd already told that there were 2 other offers on the table and the potential of something else coming. So that means that you need to be as strong as you possibly can to be competitive. I'm looking up in the Northeast LA area. I started to share, and up there, a full price offer is a loss. It's a lost opportunity for you because these properties up there are going anywhere from 50 to 250 over their asking. And that's in a 599 to about a 750 price range. And they're just driving. So I know going in, and my question to those agents right now is, for instance, we have one that's $699. I know my buyer's max because I know where he is wanting to go maximum on that property. I go in and I say, let me ask you, you mentioned that you do have an offer on the table. Do you know if you have any offers that are pushing 800? So I know my buyer's under that. And if there's an offer at 800, there's no sense wasting anybody's time. Or if he can go higher, whatever his maximum approval is. The other day I said, can we show this property? The gal said, we're in the middle of the final negotiations. Where's your approval? I said 850. She's like, we're already beyond that. So that tells me that I got to look at another property. So those are your questions that you can be asking the listing agent. And as a listing agent, this I came upon just recently, which I really liked, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's guidelines. It is guidelines that this agent put together exactly what she wants to see in the offer. And it tells you how much the earnest money is to be and when you should be depositing it, tightening of the contingencies. She's laid it out, the questions that Luis was asking, which is part of the documents that she had sent over. They did a pre-home inspection. They did termite, they did sewer. She wanted everything laid out before. So as a listing agent, that can be done as well. And that's even questions you can ask that listing agent when you call them for conversation. Have there been any reports, any investigations done recently that the seller would be willing to share? And, you know, they'll be able to tell you if there was a termite or a home inspection or sewer, what have you. So, and that will kind of bearing on your offer as well. Shortening those contingency periods, as we talked, you don't want to shorten your appraisal or your loan approval until you've spoken to your lender.
Mhm.
You are going to tell them, oh yeah, we can do. I just had this gal said when the counter came back, they wanted a 5-day home, a 7-day appraisal, and a 10-day loan. And my lender said, no way. So if we wouldn't have gone to the lender, we could have put ourselves in a position of getting an acceptance and not being able to perform. So always go to your lender when it comes to what are we doing with the appraisal and the loan.
And sometimes, to Deborah's point, great point, Deborah, it happens actually quite often in the industry where you can actually get appraisal waivers from the lenders. When you talk to them, if you're putting enough down in the home and the home is enough equity and enough value, you can actually get appraisal waivers. So imagine being able to go in and writing an offer with a 0 appraisal contingency. Right? You still have your loan contingency, you still have your inspection contingency, but having a 0 appraisal contingency is very competitive. It's competitive with an all cash offer, right?
And I'm seeing it in that Northeast LA area. They're waiving the appraisal contingency. They're waiving home inspection contingencies when these reports have been provided ahead of time. So it really toughens the competition. And, you know, you've got to be a risk taker, and that's scary. To waive an appraisal means that buyer needs to have money set aside to offset the difference if they're going to waive that appraisal. So you just want to be very careful and putting your guy out there. And just a word of caution on the buyer side is that I let my buyers know that I am not recommending you do this. It's got to be your choice. Comfort. Excuse me, your comfort. You don't want to tell them they shouldn't, you know, go ahead and remove your home inspection. There's a report sitting there. It looks good. They have to be comfortable to do it because you could set yourself up for a not so pretty picture if something happened later.
Yeah, absolutely. Great points. Thank you for sharing, Deborah. So let's figure out what actually happened. So Deborah, can you fill us in on your listing? Maybe pull up that again now, show all the information and share what offer did you end up accepting? How many offers did you have on the table? Why did your client accept that final offer? And give us some details of it. How long was the escrow period? That kind of thing.
Okay, sure. So let me just, okay. So we ended up, as you can see here, we went with a 1275. And the reason that we ended up, but we were initially we were going to go on at 1250, and we ended up going on at the 1299. We had the other offer at 1250. That particular buyer was first, and he was not submitting proof of funds. He was working to do hard money, a first and a second. And so I, as the listing agent, began my research. And I contacted those 2 letters that he had submitted supporting his hard money. And the one guy never returned my call. Turns out that his office was no longer here in Long Beach. They had relocated, but their stationery still showed them being here. The second guy, when I finally reached, was a really nice guy, said, because of COVID, I am not doing 100% money cash. to purchase. He said, I'm only doing 70%. So if that buyer doesn't have more skin in the game, then, I think he only had like 1.5% earnest money. Then he said, I'm not going to play either. So that I kept pushing and pushing for that agent because she was working so hard, and there wasn't another offer just yet. And needless to say, they just never got me the supporting document. And I said to my seller, I just can't open escrow with this guy. If this is how they perform before we get to escrow, I don't know what's going to happen when we get in there. And then we tie the property up. And so then came the second offer, and we weren't, even though we kind of had a multiple offer situation, we could ignore this other one who wasn't performing, and we worked with this one. Happened to be a young couple who was back east on their annual summer vacation, and they had not even been inside the home. I don't encourage this for you, but they'd not been inside the home, but they live in the neighborhood. They know the neighborhood. They knew the house from walking their dog, and they felt good because there was a Matterport, and the Matterport allowed them to see the home in a manner that pictures don't always show. And so we accepted that. They flew home a couple days early, started their investigations, and everything moved forward beautifully. Young couple with 2 young boys, and they are just excited as ever to be in this home. So
that's great. I think it's really interesting. So talk to me, you talked a little bit about you were trying to push because the agent was trying so hard. So talk to me a little bit more about that why you felt that loyalty to that agent.
We had several conversations, and I truly respect people who work hard on behalf of their clients. She was really trying her best to get the information. This gentleman had an essential job that was very demanding, and the job really kept him busy. Bottom line, though, I really felt uncomfortable from the start. Trust your gut, because I was hesitant because they weren't submitting what was needed, and she was a seasoned agent, yet I was giving her the benefit of the doubt because I had nothing else on the table right at that time. And I really wanted to work with her on it. And, it would go for a few days, and then all of a sudden it was a week, and it's like, okay, this just isn't working. So things just didn't feel right as we went forward, but yet she kept trying and she kept trying. So it's important that you present yourself strong, that you present yourself solid, and, get that relationship going with the listing agent, because truly it can make a difference. If I see that somebody's sloppy with their offer and it's not clean and precise, what's going to happen when we get into escrow? It's one of those things that, are you going to have to be working both sides and dragging them forward the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Fun. You're only being paid for one side, so you don't want to do their side.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so she was a nice agent, and I was hoping that she could get the sale going, but it just didn't work out. The second agent was really nice as well. He was good to work with, but you do what you can.
Good. Well, thank you for sharing, Deborah. You can go ahead and stop sharing your screen there. So all of you guys watching, do you have any questions? Are you offer writing pros? Do you know what you're doing? If so, drop your questions here, Deborah, and I will answer. In the meantime, I just want to reiterate some of the things that Deborah said. This is a relationship business, right? Not just with your clients, but with your fellow realtors. As Deborah just shared that anecdote and shared that story with us, your connection and your communication with your agents on both sides are going to be crucial to getting your client's offer accepted. Do not send blind offers. Do not write offers on a property that you haven't seen before, that you can't advocate for. Make sure you're building that connection with your clients before you submit that offer, that you can speak passionately about them and why they deserve to have that property under whatever terms they are. Even if it's an investor, you can still be engaged and confident and speak very freely about them. Okay. Questions?
If I can add real quick, Dylan had put a comment in about, it was a great point, especially with how busy the lenders are right now. So That's real a key ingredient as well. Your lender and your escrow. You want to make certain if you're going to shorten the time frame on the escrow that you've confirmed it with your lender and you've confirmed it with escrow. Before this particular buyer, before COVID, we were able to do a 21-day escrow with this lender. Now, because this buyer is self-employed, there's different COVID requirements and guidelines that are going on, and it's slowing the process. And he said he pretty sure he can get us done in 30 days, but it's going to really be pushing it. So, double check those things with the people that are responsible and confirm that escrow is with the refis that are going on right now. These lenders are they're really going crazy. So, there's somebody else, listing agents or buyer's agents at some point. The roles flip back and forth, so I couldn't agree more. Build strong relationships with your fellow agents. Great advice. Thank you. Yeah, you definitely do. You definitely do.
Absolutely.
Game on all the time. Like I'll be driving down the street and somebody will cut in front of me or something, and you want to get angry, and it's like, that might be my next buyer or seller or the agent I have to work with. So always have your A game on, no matter where you are.
That's why I can't have a car magnet on my car.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
There she is again.
I know, there she is. But thank you guys for joining us today. I know our class wasn't a total hour, but I appreciate your interactivity here. Special thank you to Luis. You did a great job. Keep pushing. But like we talked about today, remember, focus on the details. Use that summary of offer. It makes it very clean when you're calling the agent. You can speak very clearly, cleanly, and get all those numbers correct, because 15 pages is hard to flip through, right? Make sure you keep it on the details. Speak confidently, speak excitedly, even if you're submitting an offer that is under asking price. That doesn't mean that you're out of the ball game. Sometimes you still just have to write that offer. And if you talk to the agent in the right way, you never know what they're willing to accept. Like, look at Deborah's instance, for example. They took less than asking because this was a better qualified buyer than the one that they had at listing price. So it's just important to keep that in mind, that you're never out of the game. How about any last minute thoughts, Deborah?
I want to make certain they feel comfortable also sharing a little bit about your buyers. Don't be afraid to tell your buyer stories. I mean, I'm sharing that we've been looking since last year. We've written on numerous offers, our properties, and we've not won at this point in time. So I do share a little bit about them, where they are from. And recently I've even said, is it all about the price? Or is there other ingredients that's going to be important to this seller? Because some sellers would rather see someone come into that home that's going to give it the same love. I had that happen last year, that they were all about finding the right family for their home because they had lived there for so long. So, don't hesitate to ask, what are they looking for? And then, tailor it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I wasn't going to chime in, but I'm glad you said that. I was a buyer's agent in St. Louis up until I moved out here. And, in 2018, I did 40 deals. I literally wrote buyer cover letters for everything to let them know about what the family was. I would even include a picture sometimes. And it brings that emotional part of the transaction. And I've gotten, deals where, it would have went over list price, where we actually got it for less than this price just because of those personalized letters to the sellers.
Yeah, they're awesome. We started hearing more and more about your Kayak Murray, right? You came down from
Kayak Murray.
After you said that, I was like, oh, I do recognize
I
it.
know, I was gonna say.
Good deal. But recently they've been advising us, we shouldn't do those letters, or don't put pictures because of discrimination and so forth. I'm asking the list agent at this time, is it okay if we submit? And I had somebody recently say, we absolutely want the love letter. These people, these sellers, they really would like to see that. So it was a home of love, and they wanted to hear the new buyer's love for the property. But I agree, I've had many instances where that letter, that agent will come back and say, it was your letter. It was the letter that you and your buyers or whomever put it together, just touched their hearts and they went with it. So it definitely can help. Good point.
That's great. Thank you. And then Luis said right at the bottom before we go, I just want to touch on this. So it says, is there a balance with how excited you should be towards the listing agent from a negotiation standpoint? We're not in this market. So in my opinion, I'm never not excited to submit an offer. Like, that's a pretty good blanket statement. So I would say, if anything, it's going to hurt you from not being excited, because that listing agent's going to know your heart's not in this. Right. I mean, obviously, I know sometimes I can be a level 10 or maybe even a 12 on the excitement factor. So maybe you don't need to go that high, but definitely get excited about it, man. Like I said, even if it's under list price, even if it's terms that you don't necessarily think are going to get the offer accepted, because it's showing excitement for your clients. It's showing excitement for the business. It's showing excitement for the listing, because that's also a compliment to a listing agent. Right? That getting excited that I just love your listing. I think it's gorgeous. Those photos are great. Who's your photographer? Blah, blah, blah. Butter them up. Right?
Something else I want to add, we didn't get to see a listing or a purchase agreement in this, but on the first page of the purchase agreement, I did compliance for a while. And one thing that I saw that was missing probably 50% of the time, and a lot of times with seasoned agents, the APN number. You pull it right out of the MLS. It's on that first page of the contract, right around the area where the section for the address and so forth. That APN number is very specific, of course, to that property. So I'm all about, really filling every blank that's pertinent. Now, every blank is not going to be completed when you write a contract, but hitting those important parts, and that's one of them. And I'm sure that Rich has been going over contracts page by page or whatever, but that's a key ingredient. And the other thing that gets missed are the who's representing who. So if it's, the listing agent, of course, is the seller, and you click that little box and it'll click on both of them, and then you, the buyer. So those there, I think we talked about interest rate in the offer, not to exceed a certain interest rate. You're protecting your buyer. I have sellers that will counter that, and they'll say the best prevailing rate. Mm-hmm. Well, if interest rates go skyrocketing, my buyer may no longer qualify. So I'm not protecting him by not putting something in there. But
I also put the points in there too. I also say to not pay up for 1 point. I mean, I people that are paying too many points right now, they're trying to buy down their interest rate, and it can get pretty fishy when you're getting ready to close.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But thank you so much for joining us. I love how we were going to wrap up, and then it was like, just kidding. The class is going to keep going for a little while longer. But thank you guys again for joining us. Practice writing your RPAs. Again, your leadership is here for you. Your coaches are here for you. Practice them, write them. We love looking at them. We can help give you feedback. You can pitch it to us. We'll totally help you. Practice is going to make
anytime
for you. Okay. Definitely. So thank you for joining us. Have a good rest of your Monday.
Bye, guys.
See you later on in the week.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.